Bakugo's explosive power versus Todoroki's elemental mastery. It is a debate that has raged since their first clash at the UA Sports Festival, with most arguments ending in a stalemate between fire and ice versus pure aggression. But those arguments almost always miss the bigger picture. By focusing only on their first fight, we ignore years of brutal growth and strategic evolution that defines their capabilities. Today we are settling this once and for all with a definitive arc-by-arc analysis. We will track their progress from fresh-faced students to warriors on the front lines of the final war. The answer isn't just about who has the flashier quirk, but who became the more effective hero when the world was on the line. From day one at UA, Shuto Todoroki and Katsuki Bakugo were on another level. Todoroki was a prodigy, the result of a controversial quirk marriage created for the singular purpose of surpassing All Might. He wielded his half-cold, half-heart quirk with immense power, generating colossal ice walls in an instant, a feat of raw power no other student could match. Bakugo, meanwhile, was the embodiment of natural talent and unbreakable confidence. His explosive quirk was not just powerful, it was shockingly versatile and precise. He wasn't just a kid making things go boom. He possessed a level of combat genius that even pro heroes acknowledged. He used controlled blasts for acrobatic agility, fired concentrated AP shots like a sniper, and had off-the-charts battlefield instincts. This all came to a head at UA Sports Festival finals. Bakugo won, but the victory was hollow. Todoroki, in an emotional crisis after his fight with Deku, refused to use his fire abilities. He essentially threw the match. Bakugo was furious, not because he wanted an easy win, but because the victory was meaningless unless he could beat Todoroki at his absolute best. In these early days, the dynamic was clear. Todoroki had a higher ceiling for raw power but was so mentally fractured he was only using half of his quirk. Bakugo was the more complete fighter, using every facet of his quirk with a skill and aggression that Todoroki in his conflicted state couldn't match. After the sports festival, their paths to become top heroes diverged as each was forced to confront his core weaknesses. The provincial license exam perfectly highlighted their flaws. Todoroki, still wrestling with his father's legacy, had to learn the painful but necessary lesson of cooperation. Bakugo failed the exam entirely. His aggressive go-it-alone attitude was flagged as a disqualifying flaw for a hero responsible for saving people. That failure was the most important wake-up call of his life. While Todoroki began the internal journey of integrating his fire and ice, Bakugo was humbled. He was forced into remediable courses that taught him that true strength isn't just winning. It's about saving people. This began his transformation from a lone wolf into a leader. We saw the result of this growth in the joint training arc. Todoroki's team fought to a hard-earned draw. While he showed better control, he was ultimately stalemated by Tutsuki, whose steel quirk was a perfect counter to his ice and flames. Then came Bakugo's turn. In a flawless performance, he led his team to a quirk 4-0 victory, showcasing a shocking new level of strategic thinking and teamwork. He protected his teammates, pinpointed enemies' weaknesses, and orchestrated a perfect synchronized attack. For the first time, we saw Bakugo not just as a fighter, but as a brilliant field commander. While Todoroki was still trying to balance himself, Bakugo was learning how to elevate everyone around him. Their time under the #1 hero endeavor kicked their development into overdrive. For Todoroki, this was a crucial breakthrough. he finally began to master his father's fury side, learning to control its immense heat and far greater precision. This is where he started developing the foundation for his ultimate moves, focusing on raising his core temperature for blistering attacks. But Bakugo wasn't standing still. He observed, learned, and relentlessly refined his own arsenal. The most important lesson he learned from Endeavor wasn't about raw power, but ruthless efficiency. He learned to compress his explosion into armor-piercing projectile and to manage his power for maximum impact, cutting out every wasted movement. This era shows them hitting new peaks. Todoroki's growth was internal, a personal journey to master the power he was born with. Bakugo's was external, a tactical obsession focused on application and fine-tuning. He was already a master of his own quirk's mechanics. Now, he was becoming a master of battle itself. His combat IQ, already sky high, was approaching a level of analytical genius. The final war arc settles this debate for good, as both heroes are pushed to their absolute limits. Todoroki's defining battle is against his brother Dabi, the culmination of his entire character arc. To counter Dabi's out-of-control blue flames, which burned hotter than Endeavor's, Todoroki evolved his quirk. He developed a new technique, phosphor, which circulates both cold and heat through his body to create perfect equilibrium. This leads to his ultimate move, Great Glacial Ager, a colossal wave of ice that neutralizes Dabi's city-leveling heat explosion. It's an incredible display of power, proving he has finally surpassed his father. However, as incredible as Todoroki's feat was, Bakugo's role in the final war places him in another league. He was on the front line against two of Primary's antagonists, All for One and a monstrously powered-up Tomura Shigaraki. Pushed past his breaking point, Bakugo's quirk underwent a massive evolution akin to an awakening. This unlocked Cluster, an ability allowing him to create rapid-fire, concentrated explosion from his entire body, dramatically boosting his speed and power. His speed became so immense that he could blaze a perfected Shigaraki, a villain even top pro heroes couldn't track. He moved with such explosive force that he repeatedly caught All for One, the most experienced villain in history, by surprise. While Todoroki was mastering his inherited power to resolve a family crisis, Bakugo evolved his own power to face the story's god-tier threats. So, who is stronger? When you lay out the entire journey, the evidence points decisively in one direction. While Todoroki's quirk might have more raw destructive potential, Katsuki Bakugo is the stronger, more adaptable, and more effective overall fighter. Their journey tells the whole story. Todoroki started the god-tier potential but was shackled by inner turmoil. His entire arc was about learning to accept the power he was given. His victory over Dabi was the triumphant final step on that personal path. Bakugo's path was the opposite. He started with incredible skill but was held back by his own ego. His growth was about refining his power and learning to apply it for others. In the end, his peerless combat intelligence, his shocking adaptability, and the sheer offensive force of his evolved quirk gave him the definitive edge. Todoroki is a master of elemental power, but Bakugo became a master of war. His evolved speed, tactical genius, and the overwhelming power of his awakened ability puts him in a tier of combat effectiveness few heroes could ever hope to match. Shuto may have been born with a potential to be the best, but Bakugo clawed, fought, and blasted his way to that level through sheer force of will. But hey, That's just my analysis. This debate has raged for years for a reason, so now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Who do you think is stronger? And what's the one moment that seals it for you? Is it Todoroki's raw elemental power or Bakugo's comeback to genius? And if you want to see more definitive My Hero debates, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.